Welcome everyone. Today I would like to start off by acknowledging that UBC Vancouver's campus is located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. We're so excited to have you with us today. And to start off this presentation, we have a fun draw for our UBC hoodie. So I'm going to draw that winner right now. The winner is Allison Wong. So congratulations, Allison. I'll be sending you an email after this presentation, or later today, I guess, with all of the details about how you can claim your UBC hoodie. So congratulations, Allison. You can expect an email from me later. And if you all stick around until the end of this presentation, we'll be drawing another UBC hoodie. So stick around until then. And right now I'd like to pass it over to my colleague that's going to be presenting to you today. So Ruth, take it away.
Thank you, Erin. My name is Ruth Kwok. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions and Enrollment with the Faculty of Applied Science, UBC Engineering. I'm very delighted that you're able to join us today. So good morning, good afternoon, or even good evening, wherever you may be joining us right now. So today I'm going to be talking to you about our programs that we offer, as well as the admission details to help you with your application. UBC Engineering is offered at the Vancouver and the Okanagan Campus. We offer numerous programs, as well as endless opportunities for students. Some of these opportunities include cooperative education, international learning opportunities, professional development opportunities, and student design teams, just to name a few. The presentation today is focused on high school admissions. If you are currently a post-secondary student or intending to start your first year of studies under another post-sec program, I would recommend that you go into our open house website, which is under engineering.UBC.CA/open house, where you will find a pre-recorded presentation directed for post-secondary applications. I will also be covering other admission details to help with your application, including the important dates and deadlines for you. So starting with the Vancouver campus, what you will see on the slide is that engineering students, graduate and undergraduate students, represent about 30% of the Vancouver student population. The Bachelor of Applied Science program, which is engineering at Vancouver, offers 14 disciplines. These disciplines are 4 years in length, with the exception of engineering physics. At this time, the placement into these second-year programs is based on the first-year competitive average and your selection and ranking of what program you want us to consider you for, and a student profile. Your first year of engineering is actually core and foundational. So you don't need to make a decision as to which of the 14 programs you want to be selected for. Your first year consists of a lot of math, chemistry, physics, some engineering design courses, just to name a few. In fact, you're going to learn about these 14 disciplines over your first year of studies. The UBC School of Engineering, which is situated at the Okanagan Campus, and Okanagan Campus is located in Kelowna, BC, which is 4 hours drive east of Vancouver or 1 hour flight. The School of Engineering offers 4 unique programs: civil, electrical, manufacturing, and mechanical. Their first year and a half is foundational. Again, you do not need to make a selection as to which of the 4 disciplines you wish to enter. At this time, the Okanagan campus does not have a quota or a competitive average. So in fact, if you start with the first year School of Engineering, if you want civil, electrical, manufacturing, mechanical, it is at your choice. These 4 programs start in the second half of the second year of the School of Engineering program. So now that I've given you an overview of the engineering program, let's take a deep dive into admissions for high school students. So we understand that it's been challenging for students due to the effects of the pandemic on their education. Rest assured that UBC is flexible and they're committed to working with you, the applicant, and with your school counselors so that the evaluation of your application to UBC will not be disadvantaged in any way. What are some of the requirements for UBC admission? So UBC looks at a few areas under the evaluation process. The first thing they will look at is your English language admission standard, which is what we call the ELAS requirement. For most of the students who have been studying in Canada, you would have met the ELAS requirement because you've been studying for 4 consecutive years in a Canadian high school. If you have not been studying at a high school where English is the primary language of instruction, the bottom of the website, the bottom of the slide will give you the website to which you can refer to these requirements because there are 9 ways for which you can meet the ELAS. UBC also has general degree requirements, and general degree requirements means these are requirements that apply to all applicants, high school applicants to the university. You must have graduated from high school. You must have a minimum 70% in one of grade 11 or grade 12 English. And they also recommend that you have completed or will be completing at least 6 grade 12 level academic subjects. The grade 11 and grade 12 required courses that you see here pertain to the degree requirements, which is engineering. So if you are applying to engineering, we are looking that you have completed English 12, pre-calculus 12, chemistry 12, or physics 12. You will see that chemistry 12 and physics 12 have an asterisk beside it. That's because we understand that not all schools will offer both chemistry and physics, or that maybe your schedule will not permit you to complete both chemistry and physics. For that reason, we will still consider an applicant who has English 12, pre-calculus 12, and 1 of chemistry 12 or physics 12. However, you cannot be deficient in both chemistry 12 or physics 12. The breadth, rigor, and relevancy in your coursework pertain to those students who may have completed more courses necessary for high school, or perhaps you've done AP or IB courses, or you've done additional courses such as calculus, which is relevant to engineering. By taking these additional courses or relevancy courses or more rigorous courses, they will be viewed favorably in your application. So how is your application assessed by UBC? UBC looks at both a personal profile and academic profile. It is a comparative process, and it is also a holistic process. So we can't really tell you what the minimum average is to get into UBC because there are many factors for us to consider. In your personal profile, this is your opportunity for you to share information with us other than your grades. What are some of the experiences or activities that you've been doing that are outside of your classroom? We're looking at your leadership. We're looking at the substance of your personal profile. When we calculate an average, we are calculating an overall average based on your grade 11 and grade 12 subjects. The core academic average is calculated on the courses primarily relevant to engineering. So the relevancy would include the prerequisites, which I mentioned in the previous slide. It can also include language arts courses, calculus or other computational courses, such as computer science, or other science courses, such as biology. So that makes up your core academic average. What what are some of the deadlines that you need to consider if you are planning to apply to UBC this year? If you wish to be considered for a major entrance scholarship or any of the entrance scholarships under engineering, your application deadline is December 1. If you are applying for the Centennial Scholarship, please be aware that there is a separate application for the Financial Need-Based Award. If you apply by December 1, you do not need to submit a separate application for the Merit-Based Award. Those will be automatically considered as long as your application is complete by December 1. There are also entrance scholarships for international students. The bottom of the slide will provide you with a link to where you will find those details. So are we ready to apply to UBC? So there are a lot of details that I will be covering that will help with your application, whether you're applying this year or perhaps in a future year. Where do you go to apply? This is the main website at UBC where you will submit your application. Whether you're considering the Vancouver Campus or the Okanagan Campus, it is still the same website. You will go into YOU.UBC.CA, and U is spelled YOU.UBC.CA. This is a site where you're going to initiate your application to the university. Once you log in, it will prompt you through the next couple of steps. You will select undergraduate degree and non-degree studies. UBC application allows you to select more than one choice program. You have a first choice and a second choice. You don't need to put both, but we do recommend that you do. As you can see from this example, Vancouver is the first choice, Bachelor of Applied Science, Vancouver. Bachelor of Applied Science is the engineering program. The second choice is the Okanagan Campus, Bachelor of Applied Science program, which is the School of Engineering. UBC will always review your first choice. They will only consider your second choice if you are not eligible for your first choice. Then it takes you into your personal profile. We recommend that you start your personal profile on a Word document. Take your time. You don't need to submit your application right away. Once you have completed your personal profile, we ask that you be reflective on it. We ask that you be authentic in your writing. Share with us details that are important to you, lessons that you have learned from these experiences. We're not looking at a list of your experiences. That's not what's important to UBC. What is important to UBC on your personal profile are the experiences that you've learned and valued, that introspective and reflective person in you. When you have completed your personal profile on your Word doc, you can copy it back into your application. When you feel that your application is now complete, that's the time that you can submit your application. So until your application is submitted, it is still open for you to complete. Here are some additional deadlines on your radar. I talked about December 1. December 1 is important for those students who are thinking of being considered for an entrance scholarship, but it is also a deadline for those students who wish to be considered for first round offers. So UBC will consider first round offers of those students who have applied by December 1 and submitted grades that are completed by December 1 along with their personal profile. UBC may start offering first round offers as early as February and through the month of February. If you do not receive a first round offer in the month of February, don't worry. You're still being considered for a space at UBC. It's just that they're waiting for additional grades, which will come in February and March. So there's nothing you need to do if you're not considered first round offer. It's just to be patient until further assessments are completed based on additional information that you or your school will be providing to the university. For those students who are not being considered for a scholarship or are not being considered for first round offer, the final application deadline is January 15th. So if you have applied by December 1, you'll be considered for scholarships and first round offers. If you apply by January 15th, then you'll still be considered for UBC. Once you have received an offer admission, UBC will ask for your acceptance of the admission offer. Typically, the deadline is May 1. And registration will begin in June. And hopefully we'll see you on the campus in September. So we would ask that you stay in touch with UBC. UBC communicates with our applicants primarily through emails. A lot of information will be sent to you through your email, such as UBC's acknowledgement of your application to university, followed with the documents that you need to submit to UBC, how you submit those documents, and the deadlines to submit your documents. So you'll be prompted through the entire admissions process by the undergraduate admissions office. Oops, sorry, expands the slide a little too quickly. That concludes the basic information on admissions and the details that will help you get started. We're going to leave some time for questions and answers. And I would encourage you to visit the next presentation starting at 10:30 with Dr. John and County on why engineering. And also visit some of the engineering booths today, which start at 11 to 1 p.m. And my colleagues in engineering academic services will also help with questions on admissions if you have any that we're not able to respond to in the remaining minutes of this presentation. So thank you. I'm going to open up now for a Q&A session.
Wonderful. Thanks, Ruth. We've got lots of questions coming in, so I'll start with some of the first ones. And as Ruth mentioned, if we aren't able to get to your question in this session, then we are happy to have you go to the Engineering Academic Services booth at 11, and they will be able to answer many of your questions as well. So one question, and I get this from a lot of students, Ruth, is chemistry required for computer engineering admission? Can IB computer science in high school replace high school chemistry? So two questions there. The first one is chemistry required for computer engineering admission?
So chemistry is a requirement as a prerequisite to engineering, regardless of which specialization you go into. So to remind students, the prerequisites to engineering are actually your pre-calc 12, chemistry 12, physics 12, and English 12. It is not computer science 12, even though you may be intended to go into computer engineering.
Awesome, thank you.
Sorry, Ruth, can we just add about that you might be considered with, if you don't have one of the Chem
Yes.
12 or Physics 12?
Yes, I spoke about it in an earlier slide, that you can be deficient in one of Chem 12 or Physics 12, but not both. So if there's not an opportunity for you to complete both Chem 12 and Physics 12, you can complete one to grade 11, but the other must be to grade 12. It is highly recommended, if possible, for you to complete the Physics 12 over the Chem 12. But really, we want you to have all the grade 12. The reason why the Physics 12 is important is that it lays the foundation to other courses in engineering. Chemistry is a foundation course, but it's not a prerequisite to further courses in engineering, with the exceptional courses maybe in chemical engineering.
Awesome, thanks, Ruth. Another question about IB. Can you talk a little bit about a student that's taking IB and how that affects their admission?
So IB is assessed a little bit differently than the BC students who are not doing IB. It is on a score system ranging up to about 45 points. We recommend that the students achieve at least a 32 or higher on their IB overall. They have to have 3 higher level subjects and meeting all of our prereqs. Information is under YOU.UBC.CA, and you can find all the details for students who are completing IB or other curriculums.
Awesome, thank you. There is a question about if a student were to do their first year in engineering at the Vancouver campus and do not get into the program that they hope to go into, what would be their options then?
There are a couple of options for them. They can also consider going to the Okanagan Engineering Campus, which offers 4 disciplines: the civil, mechanical, electrical, and manufacturing. Or they accept the placement that they receive in Vancouver, complete a year in the program in which they were placed, and then apply for an interdepartmental transfer. It's an appeals process. It is not guaranteed, but the relevancy to the program that you want to go into is how well you have completed the second-year program and the rigors of the second-year program, which sometimes goes in the student's favor. But certainly we do encourage students to take a look at the School of Engineering. It's a wonderful campus. Both campus leads to a Bachelor of Applied Science. Both campus are accredited programs.
Thanks, Ruth. There's a question about what if you have English 12 on the last semester of high school, I'm guessing. Will they still be able to look at the transcript by then?
So the deadline for you to submit all grades is actually June 30th. If you have English 12 in your final semester, that's fine, as long as it's on your record that you are completing English 12 before graduation from high school. What they may use is your English 11 in the interim.
Awesome. Let's see the next question. So I think you might have mentioned this in the presentation, but if students are applying by December 1st for those first round offers, but they don't get a first round offer, what happens to them?
They are still being considered. So you're not being disadvantaged at all, even though you may not receive a first round offer. UBC has a limited number that they make first round offers, just to be frank and fair to students. So there is not really much you need to do other than wait for a final decision from UBC. So UBC will wait for additional information such as your grades that are either uploaded or submitted through your counselors for further assessments. So you are not being disadvantaged at all. You are still being considered for engineering and for a space at UBC.
Wonderful. So I think we're going to have time for one more question before we wrap up this session, because we do have another session coming up right away. So I'm just looking for the last question. I think a lot of your questions have already been answered. If we didn't get to that, there's one question about how do I see the engineering booths that we mentioned. That's a great question. So if you go to the engineering open house website, then you will be able to click on the program fair on the schedule, and that is where all of the booths are located. So definitely check those out. There's also going to be teams and clubs happening. Let's see, is there any other last questions? So lots of questions still about specific to what are your specific requirements depending on what province you're in, what country you're in, if you're an international student, things like that. And I think definitely go check out the YOU.UBC.CA website because that'll have all of the specifics for you depending on your province, your country that you're coming from, whether you're doing AP or IB courses. It has all of that information there. And I think that's what a lot of the last questions are kind of looking at. So I'm going to direct you all to check out YOU.UBC.CA. And thank you so much for attending. We have one last draw for a free UBC hoodie for this session to finish us off. So the winner of that one is Joshua Mariano. So congratulations, Joshua. Glad to have you in our session today. And congratulations to Allison Wong, who won the first hoodie of this session. Thank you everyone so much for joining us. Thank you so much to Ruth for your presentation. And I hope to see many of you in our next presentation coming up about engineering and talking more about kind of the student experience and everything. So be sure to go back to engineering.ubc.ca/open house to check out everything else we have going on today. Thank you so much. Bye.